Alright guys, we just finished out one of the worst droughts in probably about 10 years in my area. Today I'm going to tell you, number 1, how much it cost me, number 2, what I spent it on, and number 3, exactly how much more per animal I'm going to have to make in 2023 to cover the costs of the drought in 2022. I'm going to do this with both sheep and cows to kind of give you an example of both of those species and how a little bit of forgiveness is built into one species over another. The drought cost me $2,562. I spent this on 20 bales of hay, and this hay was fed to my beef herd as I was dispersing about half of them before the drought ended. I fed half of this kind of hoping it would rain again, and the other half I just fed as I was moving them off to auction or selling them to various private individuals. Now this hay was really inexpensive. Thanks to my friend Jerry, if you're out there watching this, thank you. I bought this last fall and I did not feed it over winter. If you guys want some information on how I was able to graze my entire herd through the winter with no hay, you can click on this video up here. But those bales cost me $1,000 and I fed about 7 bags of cubes in addition to that, which was an additional $112. Now for the livestock losses. I lost money selling about 6 head of cattle off of my farm during those extremely dry months. I culled off 3 steers that I had intended to finish out as grass-fed beef, and I lost about $50 per head on those. And then I culled off 3 cows. One of them I lost nothing on because I sold her in advance. The other 2 I sold in that crazy long sale barn line at the first week of July and lost $1,300 on those 2. Which I'm extremely thankful, because if I would have sold them 2 weeks later, I probably would have lost something like $2,000. So there's always a little something to be thankful for. A really important elephant in the room to address here is that my sheep absolutely cost me nothing. The expenses came with the beef herd that I took on at the beginning of this year. And I want to bring to light that that's what people mean when they say sheep are low input. They're referring to the feed, that you don't have to feed them. Sheep are extremely economical on pasture, but I'm going to tell you this. Sheep are not low input animals from a human resource standpoint, but if you're at a place where you literally have more human resource than cash in the bank, sheep are going to be a much better option for you. Okay, so what does this mean for 2023? How much am I going to have to make off of the remaining 13 animal units on my micro ranch? Now 13 animal units, that's 13,000 pounds worth of animal, and this is composed of a lot of different kinds of animals. I've got sheep, which 7 sheep into 1 animal unit. I've got calves, which 2 calves make up 1 animal unit, and I've got the larger beef cows. So in total, all of these animals are 13 animal units, and I'm going to need to make an additional $200 per animal unit off of my ranch in 2023 to make up for the losses in 2022. Now I'm going to give you a practical look at what this actually means using the commodity market. Now I'm not using the commodity market primarily for my ranch or my sales. I have spent a lot of time developing independent marketing streams. I have my own website. I have my own newsletter. I have my own means of pushing my product to consumers in a way that allows me to earn more per product I sell off of my farm. If you guys want some information on that, I have a free video on marketing and exactly how I do it. Link below is for that. But for the purpose of this illustration, I'm going to use the commodity market and the prices there. I am going to need to make an extra $200 per calf in 2023. Right about now, a calf out of San Angelo is bringing $2.07. That's as of a market report on a 500-pound calf the 3rd week of September. In order to recover the extra expenses from 2022, I'm going to need $2.47 on that same 500-pound calf in 2023. Now for my sheep, I need to make an extra $26 per head to cover the costs. As of right now, San Angelo prices for a 65-pound lamb are $3 per pound. Now this $26 is going to be split over 2, as a good sheep has twins, and you'll be able to sell 2 of her offspring. So I need $13 per lamb extra, which means I need $3.20 per pound on that lamb in 2023 in order to cover the extra costs of 2022. Now the difference in these 2 species is, number 1, with beef cattle, a price of $2.47 on a 500-pound steer has not been seen since 2015. Those are prices that are not common to the beef cattle market. Now we could see those prices in 2023. If you want some information on that, tap up here for an interview I did with Corbett Wall on the upcoming beef cattle market. But for sheep and lamb, we saw prices of $3.77 at the beginning of this year and the end of last year for those premium lambs, which means that price of $3.20 in 2023 is definitely not out of the question. Over this drought, we were focusing a lot on the beef cattle end, but the reality is that there was a ton of liquidation on the sheep and goat front. And Lord willing, as rain returns, that line to sell is going to be replaced by a line to buy as those ranchers restock. And given the fact that the sheep and goat market is not subject to the social and political factors that the beef cattle really is, we could be looking at, again, record high prices. So at the start of the year, I had 18 animal units on pasture. Here at the end of the year, I am culled down to 13 animal units. It's really not bad, especially in comparison to what a lot of people are continuing to experience across the country with the low rainfall persisting. But I want to give a plug here for my pasture management system. And the reality is that aside from those bales that I fed to the herd that I had to disperse, my pasture has lasted me all summer. As a brief overview, I split my 23 acres into about 50 to 100 small pastures, small paddocks, and my animals move through this series of paddocks. And what this essentially means is that each portion of my pasture only sees about 50 days worth of grazing per year, and it sees 315 days worth of rest. Now, what that rest period does is it really builds a strong root system on my pasture. And what that root system does is it allows for faster recovery. When the rain does stop falling, it allows the plants to pull water from deep underground. More roots in the ground means more organic matter, and organic matter significantly increases the water retention capacity of your soil. So that means once those rains do come, a well-managed pasture will absorb 200 to 300% more of that moisture than an overgrazed pasture with the shallow root systems. If you want some more information, go to shopshepherdess.com, buy the book Management Intensive Grazing, and learn all about it. But this grazing method is critical to my micro ranching for profit plan because it allows me to take 23 acres of grass and with a little bit of electric fencing, convert it into essentially 69 acres of grass. If you want some more information on that, please tap on this video, my documentary for National Grazing Lands, Micro Ranching for Profit, and I will see you over there.